Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm very happy that I can share with you our Polish experience on a rural and farm tourism. My name is Iwona Majewska, and every day I work in tourism organization of the Mazoovia region. But I'm also an independent consultant dealing with tourist product, strategic planning, and especially my interest is rural and farm tourism. Since we are really short of time and I would like to share with you a lot of information and a lot of Polish experience, I suggest we just switch to presentation. And first of all, my agenda for today for you consists of 4 parts. The first part is about definition and types and concepts that we used in rural tourism in Poland. The second one, I would like to share with you some information about evolution of the rural system and farm tourism in Poland. Then we talk a bit about marketing and promotion, and I will share with you our best practices. And of course, the last part is the assessment, summing up, just touching some trends that are very important generally for tourism development, but it also applies to the rural tourism. I wanted to start my presentation for such a slide, just to share with you our attitude, our Polish attitude, as far as rural tourism, how we perceive the rural tourism, and actually what kind of keywords can describe our meaning. In Poland, when we talk about rural tourism, first of all, we talk about tourism of emotion and experience. We also use the whole culture, local culture and heritage. We use also some assets that enables people to deal with active tourism in the rural areas. And of course, what is very, very strong trend is culinary tourism. All this actually gives us the whole picture of the rural tourism, which is authenticity, which is about activity, and 2 trends, recreation and knowledge. This educational trend is very strong, and also the whole trend touching slow life, slow food, and sustainability. And this one I will talk about later on. From the client point of view, what can be interesting for you, our definition that we use for creating a tourist product, because there are a lot of definitions of tourist product, but we especially love one of it, according to which a tourist product also in the rural areas is a compilation of elements connected with travel. That means that there are goods and services that are available in the rural areas, but it relates to 4 stages of having planned and good journey. And the first stage is, of course, planning, when we are sitting at home and we are thinking where to go and what kind of interest places we can visit. That in that stage, it is very important to provide potential tourists with huge information in the internet, via Facebook, via websites, and all the other information that we can provide to people that are taking decisions, because in the first stage, our plan is to make them to take decision to spend their time and their money, especially in exact place. The second stage, of course, is connecting with the stay as such, and it is, of course, about the real product in a place. That means we are talking about accommodation, we are talking about catering, we are talking about biking, sailing, and all the other attractions, horse riding, all the other attractions that the farmers and the owners can offer to tourists. But it is not enough because we are talking about experience. Visiting is connecting with experience, and all this experience is built of atmosphere, hospitality, relations, and a lot of small elements that make people to return in the same place for not only the reason of good accommodation and good food, but especially because of atmosphere that is created by the owners. And the last one I wanted to touch is memories, and these are all the souvenir gifts, photos, films, of course, food to be taken away that will make us to remember our time spent in any place. This is very much connected with this new model of tourism that we very much promote in Poland. Instead of 3S, sun, sand, and sea, right now we are entertainment, excitement, education, and engagement. That means that every tourist product that is a success on the market should relate to these four E. And in other words, we could ask what actually we sell. And for example, being on a enotourist route and in vineyards, we are actually not buying a bottle of wine to take home. No, we are buying, first of all, emotions. We are buying landscape. We are buying countryside. We are buying a beautiful view with the sunset, sitting on a terrace, talking with the owners of the vineyard. And actually, at the end of this journey, at the end of it, there is this bottle of wine that we could buy and take home. So what I wanted to stress very much, we actually sell emotions. Talking about the rural tourism, in Poland, we started from the question, is it a rural tourism, any form of activity in a rural areas? And then we all decided that the rurality is the characteristic feature of rural tourism, and it's not about any experience that can be developed in the rural areas, but it is about experience that can be developed only in the rural areas. That means that we actually relate to the motivation of clients searching for very concrete emotions and experiences that are not available in the other areas. Of course, it doesn't mean that we cannot include in a rural tourism product another activities like bike, kayaks, food trips, and the other things. But there is one important thing: the rurality of the rurality of the offer and the rurality of the product. It is because in Poland we decided that the rural tourism has to be an important and is actually an important element of diversification and enriching economic activity in the rural areas, such as creating new jobs, additional income, and all the other things. That means that this tourism is determined by the assets of the certain areas, which means heritage and culture, rural activities, and rural life. And this is, of course, connected very much with this authentic interaction I was talking at the beginning of my presentation, which is actually lead us to the feature of the rural tourism that determine its attractiveness. And it is, of course, about farming tradition and production, agricultural landscapes, of course, villages, fields, animals, etc., cultural identity of the region, like architecture, like cuisine, like activities, attractions that are available in a place. Of course, hospitality and family in Poland is a very strong feature, and high quality. That leads us to using natural resources and cultural heritage exactly in order to reach the rural character, rurality of the offer. What is agritourism? Actually, you probably know that all over the world we have this division between the tourism in the rural areas, so-called the rural tourism, and the agritourism, which means that the basic requirement for agritourism is an acting farm that offer accommodation, food, and the other attractions connected with the real life in a village and the real life in a household, in a farm. That means that tourists that are interested in this kind of stay and in this kind of holiday, they know that if they stay in an acting farm, they use its accommodation, but they have the possibility to experience everyday life in the farm, in a village, and just to live like the rural family, to live in their life. And the characteristic feature is a very close relation with the local community and with families that own this kind of accommodation. What is important that the agritourism in Poland is a bit as a preferred industry, because they are excluded from business law. Up to 5 rooms, they are excluded from the tax, the income tax. And they are only obliged, of course, to meet the sanitary equipment requirements and all the other conditions that are regulated by different regulations, but and they are obliged just to register in the commune office. So it is very, very simple for farmers to start the agritourism activity. So summing up this part of my speech and of my presentation, as you can see, the potential that we in Poland build the agritourism and rural tourism offer generally is landscapes, of course, buildings like farms, second houses, architecture with the regional diversity, agriculture, crafting generally is very important issue. Nature, local communities, meaning style of life, mentality or identity, cultural heritage, and it's not only the material buildings and architecture, but also the legends, folklore, language, feasts, and all the other elements that are not material. And that means that generally what we have right now in Polish village. What kind of offer do we have right now? We have the accommodation, we have the rural life, we have hobby implementation like horse riding, mushroom picking, fishing, and all the others. We have culinary tourism, which is very, very strong, which relates both to eco-food and traditional and regional products, and packages, accommodation, food, and the other attractions. The packages, they are also available in the villages. And of course, we have very strong trend for educational farms, educational offer for children and also for senior generation. As you see, we don't have right now the time to talk about literally Y-1, but on that slide you can see actually the difference between the offer in agritourism and rural tourism, and it's in Poland, we have several types of this. It's educational tourism, health tourism, industrial tourism, cultural tourism, and adventure tourism. And you can see that the agrotourism offer is a bit different than the offer in rural tourism, not in acting farms. Right now, I wanted to share with you a bit about evolution of our rural and farm tourism, and I wanted to stress only one actually element of this, which is quality control, categorization, and types of rural accommodation. When we talk about quality, according to WTO, we are talking about 4 spheres: safety, hygiene, accessibility of tourist services, and sustainability, of course, in these 3 pillars. We decided in 1995 that the best method of managing of quality in rural tourism is categorization. Of course, we didn't, let's say, open doors, because when we started to talk about it, we, of course, first of all, search and follow the international examples. And we, let's say, we had a mixture of it. And we developed in 1994, 5 and 6 a special accommodation rating system. Of course, we implemented the pilot categorization, and what is important, we trained a group of inspectors. And actually, this system then was moved to Polish Rural Tourism Federation, which was established in 1996. As a nationwide organization bringing together association of agritourism farm owners all over Poland. And this federation is managing and implementing the system. We rated all the farms in 3 grades. 1 son, 2 sons, and 3 sons, and actually we concentrated on a facility, first of all, that ensured a safe and stable, comfortable stay. The more unconventional activities and attractions any farm offered, the more sons the facility received. But this system was at the beginning was very complicated, and that's why in 2013 we decided to introduce some changes. And the main changes we introduced was a division between agritourism and farm tourism. So we developed actually 2 systems. One system for those who run agritourism farm with production, and the other one for the rest of the infrastructure and accommodation that offered really a lot of attractions in the rural areas, in the countryside, in the villages. We also implemented specialization for mushroom picker, for fishermen, for families, for horse lovers, and actually the biggest difference, except this division and this specialization, was simplification of the criteria, and also concentration not only on technical aspects and technical standards, but also including into the categorization a lot of different attractions, also atmosphere and also the rurality. Right now, we smoothly go to marketing and promotion of rural tourism in Poland. And actually, here I'd love to present you some our good practices. Of course, we use all the instruments: leaflets, study tours, websites, photos, storytelling, social media, fairs, campaigns, content marketing, booking sites, and PR, and also rural tourism websites. We had some projects that here on that slide you can see the rural tourism heat, for example, rest in a village, and also a very important project that deals with certification and awarding the best farms. What we tried to do, and our objective was a strong brand of the rural tourism. We actually decided that this is the key success factor for the whole industry. That's why we elaborated and we implemented a brand creation, Rest in a Village. This is the logo of it. And what we decided to do is to create an image of the rural areas as a tourist market that offers diversified and all-year attractions. Actually, we wanted also to raise the importance of rural tourism and agritourism within the tourism industry. And as a result, I can tell you that we succeed in improvement of Polish village image as a friendly, open, and modern. Actually, we targeted our campaign to Polish and foreign consumers, especially for families with children and big and medium cities inhabitants, to the domestic and foreign tourist industry. That means tour operators, promotional agencies, and tourist information and accommodation facilities, and also Association of Accommodation Suppliers, almost 30 organizations that actively promote and develop rural tourism in Poland. As you can see, also, we have a special stand that has a rural character, and this stand is absolutely in every fair. Of course, I'm talking about pre-pandemia time, not now. A lot of events in domestic and overseas international fairs. This stand was presented actually all over Europe. The other important element were conferences and seminars directed to first of all to the owners and potential owners of the agritourism and rural tourism accommodation, because they aimed at know-how transfer. As you can see, there are almost 20 of them within 4 years, organized within 4 years. We also had a TV campaign and a website, a special website related to all the branding. and 15 events only in 1 year, 15 events with our national stand. The next thing I wanted to share with you is also dissemination and promotion of the best practices. And I'm talking about the project run by Polish Tourism Organization for the EU money. And it is a campaign, There is no place like the countryside. And it aimed to spread and to promote best practices implemented in rural tourism in Poland. And we had a competition that focused on 4 areas: farm leisure, relaxing in the countryside, leisure offer of rural tourism, and culinary routes. And of course, the awarded farms and owners got a big promotional campaign, not only in Poland, but all over Europe. Summing up my presentation, which is, I know, very, very short, but I wanted to stress, first of all, that trends in rural tourism absolutely reflect general economical and social changes. I'm talking about direct impact, which is economical, political, demographical, health, sustainable development, education, and new technologies. Right now, we can also see that the direct impact on rural tourism, of course, relates to the health and to the general situation all over the world. And in Poland, what we observe within last 5-6 years is a process of farms' high specialization. We observed theme farms, for example, active tourism, culinary tourism, health tourism, and generally also a trend of elaborating concepts together with creativity, new innovative program and products and authenticity in a rural areas. What is very important, and this we could also observe, is in demographic and health changes. And it is, of course, about aging of the society that created an idea of social agriculture, farming for health, care farming, green care, green therapies, but also specialization for seniors, disabled people, addicted people, difficult children and mothers. And this is very strong trend developing in rural areas last 3 or 4 years. And also a slow life concept very much influenced rural tourism, because these areas are absolutely ideal for spending holiday or free time in a slow concept, which is close to the nature, close to the people, to live according to your needs, and actually not living not in rush, but in just to slow down in our life. And this concept is very, very popular in a lot of Polish households, I would say, in a countryside, in the villages. Another good practice is, of course, educational tourism, and it is absolutely very popular, and it relates to plant production, animal production, rural production, sustainability. And this is an offer directed, as you can see on the photos, directed mainly to group of children or to the families with children or individual people. And the education is the characteristic feature of the offer. Very close to the educational villages and educational tourism are theme villages. There are a lot of them in Poland. They relate to health, to fun and play, to hobbits, for example, or any other legends or stories. But we have also strawberry villages, mushroom villages, ceramic, which is very popular, honey villages, and stork villages that is very much associated with eco trend. Another story is, of course, a village of taste. As far this food, I must say that culinary routes, they are very, very popular all over Poland. We in Mazoovia region have one of such a route, Mazoovia Noble Taste. And this offer consists actually of food. Food is, of course, on the first place, but it consists of accommodation, sightseeing, but also packages, also workshop, and all the other activities that include natural and heritage values of the region. And actually, this is the last slide that I would like to present to you. In my opinion, this is the key success factor for developing tourism in the rural areas, because these factors relate both to agritourism and ecotourism and tourism and rural tourism in the countryside. First of all, of course, natural and cultural assets. We talk about it today a lot. Using these unique values, quality of infrastructure and service, I'm talking about standardization. Natural hospitality, which is very important, good food prepared on the natural products, and traditional way of preparing. This is also very important. Variety of attractions in a village, in a region, and just searching for this attraction, support of the local community, a unique idea for tourist product. I wanted to stress it at the end very, very strongly. Bed and breakfast is now not enough to develop tourism in any part of all over the world. Easy access and transportation, of course, yes. And what I wanted to stress in my presentation as the last is free sector cooperation. That means the local government, private companies, and non-governmental organizations, which is very important. And of course, the sustainability, economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, and of course, social sustainability. This success factor, in my opinion, can bring us all over the world, but this is, of course, our Polish experience to the success for this industry. I hope that you find in this presentation some parts that are interesting for you. And I wish you very, very good conference, and hope that in the future we could meet and share our opinions just face to face. Thank you very much. Bye.